Thank you for joining NDTV, Ambassador. IRGC said the attack was aimed at a specific target. What was their so-called specific target, and have they really achieved that?
I don't know what the targets were. We know that they shot 350 rockets, cruise missiles, and UAVs, carrying about 60 tons of explosives towards Israel. We were able to intercept 99% of the incoming projectiles, and very few missiles came in and hit Army base, Air Force base in the southern part of Israel, but the base was okay and continued functioning. Unfortunately, there was one girl, 7-year-old Muslim Bedouin from the Negev, from the south of Israel, who was severely wounded, and we are praying for her speedy recovery.
Iran has said that it has completed its counterattack and operation is over now. But if Israel attacks again, it will retaliate in a big way. Following the attack, Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu vowed that together we will win. So what he is trying to say? Is it for further offensive against Iran?
So we have to see the perspective of time. What happened is, for years, Iran is fighting Israel by proxy, having a war by proxy. But this came to a different level on October 7, when one of its proxies, and when I speak about proxies, I mean that Iran is financing, training, and equipping these proxies. One of her proxies, Hamas, done one of the worst atrocities in human history, coming in, invading 30 Israeli communities and killing 1,200 Israeli civilians and other nationals. Atrocities, terrible atrocities. I don't want even to repeat them now. And then the other proxies of Iran joined the battle, Hezbollah in the north, and the Shiite militias from Syria and Iraq, and the Houthis from Yemen, shooting at Israel and at international shipping, disrupting it. So it didn't start now, and this firing directly from Iran to Israel is a further new escalation for the first time ever. It cannot remain unanswered. We were lucky to prevent huge effect and damage that they hoped to cause, because they did it, they thought well the shooting at Israel, because they shot 3 different tools, and within the rockets, even surface to surface, different kinds, and timed it to challenge together the Israeli defense systems that luckily were able to stand up to the challenge. So the damage was not big, but if the Iranians now think that they have a free card in engaging Israel every time or threatening Israel, we have to make clear to them that this is unacceptable, and our abilities to retaliate are reasonable.
US is maintaining its position that it will keep supporting Israel, but at the same time it is also advising Israel not to go for any offensive against Iran. US has also said it will not take a part in any counter-offensive against Iran. Would Israel follow US advice, or would act on its own?
I heard a little bit differently. I heard that what Biden says is US will not be part of a retaliation to Iran. We respect the American partners, what they did now also with creating partnerships in order to help prevent the shooting, and their support to Israel is very valuable to us. The friendship of the US, I served twice in the US, is incredibly important for us. At the same time, at the end of the day, the responsibility for the well-being of the Israeli population is on Israel and its government, and the government will do whatever they find fit in order to protect the population. And that's why we listen to our friends, to our allies, but at the end of the day, we do what we think is the right thing for the citizens of Israel.
Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has spoken to your Foreign Minister Israel Katz as well, and India is all for peace and diplomatic solutions. Do you agree with that? What role you expect from India?
In general, I think that, look at Iran, its behavior, destabilizing the Middle East, supporting terror organizations for years, not starting now. And now you can add to that shooting at Israel, piracy by a state in high waters, and hijacking of 25 sailors who were on the ship in order to make a living, 17 Indians and the rest other nationalities. This is totally unacceptable. And add to all of that the wish of Iran for nuclear capacity. And if Iran will be nuclear one day, and I hope it doesn't happen, there are two elements there. One element is that they all the time speak about the destruction of the State of Israel, another legitimate democratic member of the UN, which is unacceptable by itself, but they speak about it, and if they have the capacity to do that, it becomes more complicated. But think of beyond that. If Iran will be protected by the feeling of protection by nuclear weapon, that no one will want to deal with them, their behavior that you see now all along the region, the West Asia, that they destabilize, support terrorism and everything, will be 10 times worse because they will feel that no one can hurt them. So what I think is that the international community has to come together and put pressure on Iran to come back to becoming a normal country, serving its citizens rather than destabilizing its neighbors.
What Iran has done, it claims that it has done in retaliation of Israeli attack on its consulate in Damascus, which killed IRGC former commander. Iran is also saying that Israel has violated international law by attacking consulate, but Israel has neither confirmed nor denied it involvement in Damascus attack, and why it is so.
I would go back and, a few days ago, just to remind everyone, the court in Buenos Aires, so many years after the bombing in the early 90s, of both the Embassy of Israel, where I think 29 casualties. By the way, if you want to go to a personal story, you can go to former Ambassador Daniel Carmon, who lost his wife Eliora there, the mother of his 5 children, the first wife. She was one of the diplomats that were killed there, and then they brought down the AMIA, the Jewish Community Center, that was the Argentinian Jewish Community Center, that was much, much bigger, many more casualties. So, when we speak about harming Iran is a leader, we don't have to assume responsibility for anything. I mean, ambiguity is sometimes good. If it's us or not us, it's for others to decide, to think. But I would ask also, why are 7 Revolutionary Guards officers in charge of making our region unstable, shipping weapons and training and financing terror organizations around the region are there in that place? That's a good question for people to ask themselves. As I said, I'm not myself. I don't know, but it's something that Israeli government has the decision to decide when, how, where. This is all to be seen in the future. I don't know. I cannot say myself.
Thank you, Ambassador, for joining NDTV.